Okay. The uh, the Earth in the solar system. How wonder it is to watch the sky after sunset. One would first notice one or two bright dots shining in the sky. But soon you will see the number increasing. You cannot count them anymore. The whole sky is filled with tiny shining objects. Some are bright, others dim. It seems as if the sky is studded with diamonds. They all appear to be twinkling, but if you look at them carefully, you will notice that some of them do not twinkle as others do. They simply glow without any flickers, just as moon shines. Along with these bright objects, you may also see the moon on most of the days. It may, however, appear at different times in different shapes at different position. You can see the full moon only once in about a month time. It is full moon night or Purnima. A fortnight later you cannot see it at all. It is a new moon night or Amavasya. On this day you can watch the night sky best, provided it a clear night. You wondered why can't you see the moon and all those bright star tiny objects during daytime? It is because the very bright light of sun does not allow us to see all these bright objects of the night sky. The sun, the moon, and all these objects shining in the sky are called celestial bodies. Some celestial bodies are very big and hot. They are made up of gases. Some celestial bodies are very big and hot. They are made up of gases. They have their own heat and light, which they emit in large amounts. These celestial bodies are called stars. The sun is a star. Countless twinkling stars in the night sky are similar to the sun, but we do not feel their heat or light, and they look so tiny because they are very, very far from us. You must have noticed that all the objects look smaller when seen from a distance. How small an aeroplane looks when it in sky at a great height. While watching the night sky, you may notice various patterns followed by the different group of stars. These are called constellations. Ursa Major, a big bear, is one such constellation. One of the most easy recognizable constellation is the Saptarishi, Sapt 7 Rishi Senage. It is a group of 7 stars that forms a part of Ursa Major constellation. Ask someone elder in your family or neighborhood to show you more star, planets and constellation in the sky. In ancient times, people used to determine direction during the night with the help of stars. The North Star indicates the north direction. It is also called the pole star. It always remains in the same position in the sky. We can locate the position of the pole star with the help of Saptarishi. Look at you will notice that if an imaginary line is drawn along the pointer star and extended further, it will point to the pole star. Some celestial bodies do not have their own heat and light. They are lit by the lights of the stars. Such bodies are called planets. The word planet comes from the Greek word plantia, which means wonders. The earth on which we live is a planet. It gets all its heat and light from the sun, which is our nearest star. If we look at the earth from a great distance, say the moon, it will appear to be a shining just as the moon. The moon that we see in the sky is a satellite. It is a companion of our earth and move around it. Like our earth, there are 7 other planets that get heat from heat and light from the sun. Some of them have their moon too. Interesting fact: Jupiter, Saturn, and Uranus have rings around them. These are belts of small debris. These rings may be seen from the Earth with the help of powerful telescope. The solar system: the sun, 8 planets, satellite, and some other celestial bodies known as asteroids and meteoroids. Sun, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. Mercury, one orbit is around around the sun is 88 days. One spin axis 59 days. Venus, one orbit around the sun is 255 days. One spin axis is 243 days. Earth, one orbit around the sun is 365 days, and one spin on its axis is 1 day. Mars, number of moons 1. Mercury and Venus does not have moon. One orbit around the sun is 687 days. One spin on the axis is 1 day. Number of moons 2. Jupiter, one orbit around the sun is 11 years, 11 months and about 12 years. One spin on axis is 9 hours 56 minutes. Number of moons is about 53 moons. One orbit around the sun is 29 years, 5 months. One spin on its axis is 10 hours and 40 minutes. Number of moons is about 53. Same moon of Jupiter is 53. Moon of Saturn is also 53. One orbit around the sun is 84 years. One spin around the axis is 17 hours 14 minutes. Number of moon is 27. Inner planet, very close to the sun. They are made up outer planet, very far from the sun, and huge planets made up of gases and liquids of rocks. Sol is a Roman mythology in the sun god. Solar means related to the sun. The family of sun is therefore called the solar system. Write down as many words using the word solar so you know as you can. Word origin. Many words used in a language may have been taken from the other language. Geography, for example, is an English word. It has its origin in Greek, which related to the description on the earth. It is made up of two Greek words, age, which means earth, and graphica, which meaning writing. To find about more about the earth, geology means study of the earth. Geometry means measure of the earth. Geoid, resembling the shape or form of the earth. Earth shape is geoid. Do you know humans have always been fascinated gazing at the night sky. Those who study the celestial bodies and their movements are called the astronomers. Aryabhatta was the famous astronomer of the ancient India. He said that the moon and the planet shine due to reflected sunlight. Today, astronomers all over the world are busy exploring the universe. From the solar system, we often called it a solar family with the sun as its head. The sun is the center of the solar system. It is a huge and made up of the extremely hot gases. It provides the pulling force that binds the solar system. The sun is the ultimate source of heat and light for the solar system, but the tremendous heat is not felt so much by us because despite being our nearest star, it is far from us. The sun is about 150 million kilometers away from their planet. There are 8 planets in our solar system. In our order of their distance from the sun, they are Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. An easy way to memorize the name of the planet in order of their distance from the sun is my very efficient mother just served us nuts. All the 8 planets of the solar system move around the sun in a fixed path. These paths are elongated. They are called orbits. Mercury is the nearest to the Sun. It takes about 88 days to complete one round along its orbit. Venus is considered as Earth's twin because its size and shape are very much similar to that of the Earth. Till recently, August 2026, Pluto was also considered as planet. However, in a meeting of the International Astronomical Union, a decision was taken that Pluto, like other celestial bodies, Sirius 2003 UB 313, discovered in recent past year, may be called dwarf planet, and now Pluto is called 134340. The Earth is the third nearest planet to the Sun in the size. It is the fifth largest planet in slightly flattered at the pole. That is why its shape is described as the geode. Geode means an earth-like shape. Conditions favorable to the support life are probably around only on the Earth. The Earth is neither too hot nor too cold. It has water and air, which are very essential for our survival. The air has life supporting gases like oxygen. Because of this reason, the Earth is a unique planet in the solar system. From the outer space, the Earth appears blue because its two-thirds surface is covered by the water. It is therefore called a blue planet. The Moon. Our Earth has only one satellite, that is the Moon. Its diameter is the 1/4 that of the Earth. It appears so big because it is nearer to our planet than other celestial bodies. It is about 3,84,400 km away from the Earth. Now you can compare the distance of the Earth from the Sun and that from the Moon. The Moon moves around the Earth in about 27 days. It takes exactly the same time to complete one spin. As a result, only one side of Moon is visible to us on the Earth. The Moon does not have conditions favorable for life. It has mountain, plains and depression on it. Or do you know the light travel at the speed of about 3 lakh kilometer per second? Yet even with this speed, the light of the Sun take about 8 minutes to reach the Earth. Interesting fact, Neil Armstrong was the first man to step on the surface of the Moon on 20 July 1969. Find out whether any Indian has landed on the Moon. A satellite, A satellite is a celestial body that moves around the planet in the same way as the planet moves around the Sun. A human-made satellite. It is an artificial body. It is designed by the scientists to gather information about the universe or for the communication. It is carried by a rocket and placed in orbit around the Earth. Some of the Indian satellites in space are INSAT, IRS, EduSat, etc. Surface. These cast shadows on the Moon's surface. Look at the full Moon and observe these shadows. Asteroids. Apart from the stars, planets and satellites, there are asteroids. Apart from the stars, planets and the satellites, there are numerous tiny bodies which always move around the Sun. These bodies are called asteroids. They are found between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. Scientists are of the view that asteroids are part of the planet which exploded many years back. Meteoroids. The small pieces of rock which moves around the Sun are called meteoroids. Sometimes these meteoroids come near to the earth and tends to drop upon it. Upon this process, due to friction with the air, they get heated up and burn. It called a flash of light. Sometimes a meteor, without being completely burnt, fall on the earth and create a hollow. Do you see a whitish broadband like a white glowing path around the sky on a clear starry night? It is a cluster of millions of stars. This band is a Milky Way galaxy. Our solar system is a part of this galaxy. In ancient India, it was imagined to be a river of lights flowing in the sky. Thus, it was named Akash Ganga. In ancient time, it was imagined to be river of lights flowing in the sky. Thus, it was named as Akash Ganga. A galaxy is a huge system of billions of stars and clouds of dust and gases. There are millions of such galaxies that make the universe. It is difficult to imagine how big the universe is. Scientists are still trying to find out more and more about it. We are not certain about its size, but we know that all of these, you and I, belong to this universe. You can relate yourself with the universe now. You are on the earth and the earth is a part of the solar system. Our solar system is a part of Milky Way galaxy, which is part of the universe. Think about the universe and the fact that it contains millions of such galaxies. How do you fit in the picture? Earth, solar system, Milky Way galaxy, the universe. How does a planet differ from a star? There are mean by solar system. Name all the according to their distance from the sun. Name the Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. What is the why the Earth called? Because life living on a blue planet and something. Why do we see only one side of the moon? Because it takes 27 days to move in your axis. What is the universe? Which planet is known as Earth's twin, Venus, third nearest planet to the sun, Earth. All the planets move around the sun in a elongated path. The pole star indicates the direction to the north. Asteroids are found between Mars and Jupiter. Fill in the blanks. Group. It's easy. Globe, latitudes and longitudes. In the previous chapter we have read about our planet. Earth is not a sphere. It is slightly flattened at the north and the south poles but bulge in the middle. You can imagine how it looks. You may look at a globe carefully in your classroom to get an idea. Globe is a true model, miniature form of the earth. Globe may be of varying size and types. Big ones which cannot be carried easily, small pocket globes, and the globe like balloons which can be flattened and are handy and carried with ease. The globe is not fixed. It can be rotated the same way as the top is spin or the pottery's wheel is rotated. On the globe, countries, continents and the oceans are shown in their correct size. It is difficult to describe the location of a point on the sphere like the earth. Now the question arises as to the how to locate a place on it. We need certain points of the reference and lines to find out the location of places. You will notice that a needle is fixed through the globe in a titled manner which is called its axis. 2 points on the globe through which the needle passes are 2 poles, North Pole and South Pole. The globe just moved around this needle from west to east just as the earth moves. But remember, there is a major difference. The real earth has no such needle. It moves around its axis, which is an imaginary line. Another imaginary line running on the globe divides it into 2 equal parts. These lines are known as equator. The northern half of the earth is known as north hemisphere and the southern half of the earth is known as the southern hemisphere. There are both equal halves. Therefore, the equator is imaginary circular line and is a very important reference point to locate places on the earth. Or parallel circles from the equator up to the poles are called parallels of latitudes. Latitudes are measured in degrees. The equator represents the 0-degree latitude, since the distance from the equator to either of the poles in 1/4 of the circle around the earth. It is the measure 1/4 of the 360 degrees, that is 90 degrees. Thus 90 degree north latitude mark the north pole and the 90 degrees south latitudes mark the south pole. As such, all planets north of the equator are called north latitudes. Similarly, all planets south of the equators are called south latitudes. The value of each latitude is therefore followed by either of the word north or south. Generally, this is indicated by the letter N or S. For example, both Chandrapur in Maharashtra, India and Belo horizontally in Brazil, South Africa are located on parallels about 20-degree latitude, but in former 20-degree north of the equator and the latter 20 degrees south of it. We therefore say that Chandrapur is situated in 20-degree north and Bellino Horizonte is situated in 20 degrees south latitude. We see in figure 2.2 that as we move away from the equator, the size of parallel latitudes decreases. Do you know, by measuring the angle of the pole star from the place, you can know the latitude of your place. These are called frigid zone, temperate zone, torrid zone, Tropic of Cancer, Arctic Circle, Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn and Antarctic Circle, North Pole, South Pole. Important parallel or latitudes: beside the equator 0 degree, the north pole 90 degree, the south pole 90 degrees south, there are 4 important parallels of latitude. Tropic of Cancer 22.5 degree north in the northern hemisphere and Tropic of Capricorn 22.5 south in the southern hemisphere. Arctic Circle at 66.5 north of the equator and Antarctic Circle at 66.5 south of the equator. Important latitudes and heat zones: frigid zone, temperate zone, torrid zone. Heat zones of the earth: the midday sun is exactly overhead at least once in a year on all latitudes in between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. These areas therefore receive the maximum heat and it is called the torrid zone. The midday sun never shines over on any latitude beyond the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. The angle of the sun rays go on decreasing towards the pole. As such, as the area bounded by Tropic of Cancer and the Antarctic Circle in the north hemisphere, the Tropic of Capricorn and the Antarctic Circle is the southern hemisphere and have moderate temperatures. These are called the temperate zone. Area lying under Arctic Circle are the North Pole in the southern hemisphere and the Antarctic Circle and the South Pole in the southern hemisphere are very cold. It is because here the sun does not rise much above the horizon. Therefore, its rays are always slanting and provide less heat. These are therefore called frigid zone, very cold. What are latitudes? To fix the position of a place, it is necessary to know something about the latitudes of the place. You can see for the example that Tonga Island in the Pacific Ocean and Mauritius Island in the Indian Ocean near Africa are situated on same latitude. Now, in order to locate them precisely, we must find out how far east or west these places are from a given line of preference running from the north pole to the south pole. These lines of preference are called the meridian of longitude lines, and the distance between them are measured in degrees of longitude. Each degree is further divided into into minutes and minutes into seconds. There are semicircle and the distance between them decreases steadily polewards until it becomes zero at the poles, where all the meridians meet. Unlike parallels of latitudes or meridians are of equal length, thus it was difficult to number the meridian. Hence, all the countries decided that the count should begin from the meridian which passes through Greenwich, where the British Royal Observatory is located. The meridian is called the prime meridian. Its value is 0 degree latitude, and from it we count 180 degree eastward as well as 180 degree westward. The prime meridian and 180 degree meridian divided Earth into two equal halves, the eastern hemisphere and the western hemisphere. Therefore, the longitude of a place is followed by the letter E for the east and the west W for the west. It is, however, interesting to note that 180 degree east and 180 degree west meridian are on the same line. Now, to add the rigid of the parallels of the latitudes and meridians of longitudes on the globe, you can locate any point on the globe very easily if you know its latitude and longitude. For example, Dhubrin in Assam is situated at 26 degree north latitude and 90 degree east longitude. Find out the point where these two lines cut each other. That point will be located in Dhubri. To understand this, clearly drawn equidistant vertical and horizontal lines on a paper. Label the vertical rows with the numbers and horizontal rows with the letters. Draw some small circles randomly on the points which were horizontal and the vertical lines intersect each other. Name these small circles as A, B, C, D, E, and let vertical circle represent east longitudes and horizontal lines as north latitude. Now you can easily see that the circle A is located on B degree north latitude and 1 degree east longitude. Find out the location of other circles. Plus 5.5 degree Greenwich passes through London. And India is plus 5.5 degree of Greenwich. Longitude and time. The best means of measuring time is by the movement of the earth, the moon and the planet. The sun regularly rises and sets every day, and naturally it is the best timekeeper throughout the world. Local time can be denoted by the shadow cast off by the sun, which is the shortest at moon and longest at sunrises and sunset. When the prime meridian of Greenwich has the sun at the highest point in the sky, all the places along this meridian will have midday or noon. As the earth rotates from west to east, those places east of the Greenwich will be ahead of Greenwich time and those of the west will behind it. The rate of difference can be calculated as follows. The earth rotates 360 degree in about 24 hours, which means 15 degree on an hour, 1 degree in 4 minutes. Thus, when it is 12 noon at Greenwich, the time at 15 degree east of Greenwich will be 15 into 4, which is 60 minutes, 1 hour ahead of the Greenwich time, which means 1 p.m. But at 15 degree west of the Greenwich, the time will be behind Greenwich time by 1 hour. That is, it will be 11 a.m. Similarly, at 180 degree it will be midnight when it is in 12 noon at Greenwich. At any place a watch can be adjusted to read 12 o'clock when the sun is at the highest point in the sky. That is, when it is midday, the time shown by such a watch will give the local time for that place. You can see that all the places on the given meridian of longitude have the same local time. Why do we have the standard time? The local time of places which are on different meridian are bound to different. For example, it will be difficult to prepare a timetable for train which cross several longitudes in India. For instance, there will be a difference of about 1 hour and 45 minutes in local time of Dwarka in Gujarat and Dibrugarh in Assam. It is therefore necessary to adopt the local time of some central meridian of a country as the standard time for country in India. The longitude of 82.5 degree east, which is 82 degree and 30 inches east, is treated as the standard meridian. The local time at this meridian is taken as the standard time for the whole country. It is known as Indian Standard Time IST, which is passes through 82.5 degree east. Indian Standard Meridian IST. Kibar lives in a small town near Bhopal. He tells his friend Alok that they will not be able to sleep tonight. A day and night cricket match between India and England had started at 2 p.m. in London. This means that the match would begin at 7 p.m. in India and finish well into the night. Do you know what is the time difference between India and England? India located east of the Greenwich at 82 and 30 degree east in 5 hour and 30 minutes ahead of GMT, Greenwich Mean Time. So it will be 7:30 p.m. in India when it is 12 p.m. noon in London. Some countries have a great longitudinal extent so that they can adopt more than one standard time. For example, in Russia there are 11 standard time. The earth have been divided into 24 time zones of 1 hour each. Each time zones thus cover 15 degree of longitude. That is a true shape of the earth geoid. The value of prime meridian 0. Frigid zone near the poles. The number of longitude 180 degree. The Antarctic circle is located in Arctic and Arctic southern hemisphere. A grid is a network. Easy question, 6th class question. Motion of the earth. As you know that the earth has two types of motions, namely rotation and revolution. Rotation is the movement of the earth on its axis. The movement of the earth around the sun is a fixed path or orbit in called revolution. The axis of the earth, which is an imaginary line, makes an angle of 66.5 degree with its orbital plane. The plane formed by the orbit is known as orbital plane. The earth receives light from the sun due to the spherical shape of the earth. Only half of it gets light from the sun at a time. The portion facing the sun experiences day while the other half away from the sun experiences night. The circle that divides the day from the night on the globe called the circle of illumination. This circle does not coincide with the axis as you see in the figure 3.2. The earth takes about 24 hours to complete one rotation around its axis. The period of rotation is known as the earth day. This is daily motion of the earth. Tilt at 22.5 degree, North Pole and South Pole. What do you know? The ancient Indian astronomer Aryabhat had started at the earth is round and rotates on its own axis. What would happen if the earth did not rotate? The portion of the earth facing the sun would always experience day, thus beginning continuous warmth to the region. The other half would remain in darkness and be freezing cold all time. Life would not have been possible in such extreme conditions. The second motion of the earth around the sun in its orbit is called revolution. It takes 365 days and 1.5 days 1 year to revolve around the sun. We considered a year as the consisting of 365 days only and ignoring 6 hours for sake of convenience. 21 March and 23rd September are equinox, where sun is directly on equator, where winter summer solstice 21 June and Tropic of Cancer, and 22 September as winter winter in northern hemisphere, which is sun is directly on Tropic of Capricorn. 6 hours shaved every year are added to make one day. Over a span of 4 years, this surplus day is added to month of February. Thus, every 4th year, February is of 29 days instead of 28 days. Such a year with 366 days is called a leap year. Find out when will the next leap year be. From the 2003 divided by 4 and 24 from the figure 3 point, it is clear that the earth is going around the sun in an elliptical orbit. Notice that throughout its orbit the earth is inclined in same direction. Year is usually divided into summer, winter, spring and autumn season. Season changes due to change in the position of earth around the sun. You can see that on 21st June the north hemisphere is tilted towards the sun. The rays of the sun fall directly on the Tropic of Cancer. As a result, these areas receive more heat. The areas near the pole receive less heat as the rays of the sun are slanting. The North Pole is inclined towards the sun and the place beyond the Arctic Circle experience continuous daylight for about 6 months. Since a large portion of the North Hemisphere is getting light from the sun, it is summer in the regions north of the equator. The longest day and the shortest night at these places occur at 21st June. At this time in the southern hemisphere, all these conditions are reversed. It is winter season. There the nights are longer than the days. This position of earth is called the summer solstice. On 22nd December, the Tropic of Capricorn received direct rays of the sun as the South Pole tilts towards it. As the sun rays fall directly at the Tropic of Capricorn 22.5 degrees south. As a large portion of the southern hemisphere get light, therefore it is summer in the southern hemisphere with the longer days and the shorter night. The reverse happen in the north hemisphere. This position of the earth is called the winter solstice. Do you know that Christmas is celebrated in Australia in the summer season? On 21st March, the September 23rd direct rays of the sun falls on the equator. At this position, neither of the poles get tilted towards the sun, so the whole earth experiences equal days and equal nights. This is called an equinox. On 23rd September, it is autumn season in the northern hemisphere and the spring season in southern hemisphere, opposite in the case of 21st March. When it is spring in the northern hemisphere and the autumn is the southern hemisphere, thus you find that there are days and night and changes in the season because of rotation and revolution of earth respectively. The movement of the earth around the sun is called revolution. The earth rays on the sun directly on equator. 21 March Christmas is celebrated. Christmas celebrated in summer Australia. Cycle of the season is caused due to revolution. Leap year 366 days, सब easy है. Maps. You have learned in previous chapter about the advantages of a globe. However, globe has limitations as well. A globe can be useful when we want to study the earth as a whole, but when we want to study only a part of the earth, as about our country, state, district, town and villages, it is of little helpful. In such a situation we use maps. A map is representation or a drawing of the earth's surface or a part of it drawn on a flat surface according to a scale, but it is impossible to flatten a round shape completely. We found that maps are useful to us for various purposes. One map shows a small area and a few facts. Another map may contain as many fact as a big book. Many maps are put together, we get an atlas. Atlases are of various size, measurements, drawn on different scales. Maps provided more information than a globe. There are different types, some of them described below. Physical map showing natural features of the earth such as mountain, plateaus, plain, river, ocean, etc. are called the physical or relief maps. Political map showing cities, towns, villages and the different countries and states of the world with their boundaries are called political map. Thematical map. Some map focus on specific information such as road map, rainfall map, maps showing distribution of the forest, industries, etc. are called thematic maps. Suitable titles are given on the basis of information provided in these maps. There are three components of map: distance, direction and symbol. Distance. Maps are drawings which are reduced the either world or a part of it to fit on a sheet of paper, or we can say maps are drawn to reduced scales, but this reduction is done very carefully so that the distance between the places is real. It can only be possible when a small distance on a paper represents a large distance on the ground. Therefore, a circle is chosen for this purpose. Scale is the ratio between actual distance on the ground and the distance shown on the map. For example, the distance between your school and your home is 10 km. If you show this 10 km distance by 2 cm on a map, it means 1 cm on the map will be show 5 km. On the ground, the scale of your drawing will be 1 cm is equals to 5 km. Thus, scale is very important in any map. If you know the scale, you will be able to calculate the distance between any two places on the map. When large areas like continent or countries are to be shown on a map, then we use small scale. For example, 5 cm on the map show 500 km of the ground. It is called a small scale map. When a small areas like your village or town is to be shown on map, then we use a large scale, that is 5 cm on the map shown 500 meter only on ground. It is called large scale map. Large scale maps give more information than a small scale map. Directions. Most map contains an arrow mark with the letters N at the upper right hand corner. These arrows show the north direction. It is called the north line. When you know the north, you can find out other direction. For example, east, west and south. There are 4 major directions: north, south, east and west. They are called cardinal points. Other 4 intermediate directions are northeast, southeast, southwest, northwest. We can locate any places more accurately with the help of this intermediate direction. Find out the following direction from the figure: the direction of the community center, the playground from Vikas house. B, the direction of school from the shop. We can find out the direction of a place with the help of a compass. It is an instrument used to find out main direction. Its magnetic needle always point towards the north-south direction. Symbols. It is the third important component of the map. It is not possible to draw on a map the actual size or the size of different features such as building, road, bridges, trees, railways, lines, or a well. So they are shown by certain letters, shades, color, pictures, and the line. These symbols give a lot of information of a limited space. With the use of these symbols, maps can be drawn easily and are simple to read. Even if you don't know the language of an area and therefore you ask someone for direction, you can collect information from maps with the help of these symbols. Maps have a universal language that can be understood by all. There is international agreement regarding the use of these symbols. These are called conventional symbols. Some conventional symbols are shown below. Railway line, broad gauge, meter gauge, and railway. Broad gauge is 676 meter mm. 676 mm between two lines of between a line of railway. Meter gauge is 1000 mm. 1000 mm between lines of railway are broad gauge, meter gauge, and railway station. Roads, metalled and unmetalled. Boundaries, international, state and district. River, well, tank, canal, and bridge. Temple, church, mosque, chhatri. Post office, PO. Post and telegraph office, PTO. Police station, PS. Settlement, graveyard, trees, grass. Conventional symbol. Various colors are used for the same purpose. For example, generally blue is used for showing water bodies, brown for mountain, yellow for plateau, and green is used for plains. Trees are the settlements like cities, town, villages, schools, town, villages. Settlement, railway station. These are meter gauge, these are broad gauge. PS, police station, police and telegraph office. River, temple, trees. Temple and temple के सामने graveyard. Okay, these are temples. Temple, graveyard. These are mosque. This is shifted to here. Mosque, chhatri. Sketch. A sketch is a drawing mainly based on memory and spot observation and not to scale. Sometimes a rough drawing is required of an area to tell whether a particular place is located with respect to other places. Suppose you want to go to your friend's house but you don't know the way. Your friend may make a rough drawing to show the way to his house. Such a rough drawing is drawn without scale and is called a sketch map. Plan. A plan is a drawing of a small area on a large scale, and a large scale map give lot of information, but there are certain things which which we may sometimes want to know, for example, the length and the breadth of a room, which cannot be shown in a map. At that time, we can refer drawings drawn to scale called a plan. Thematic. The blue color is used for showing water bodies. A compass is used to show direction. A scale is necessary for sketch, for maps, for sketch. 6 class का easy 2 मिनट में. Major domains of the earth. As you have read in the first chapter, the earth is the only planet which has life. Human being can live here because the life sustaining elements of the land, water, air are present on the earth. The surface of earth is a complex zone in which three main components of the environment meet, overlap and interact. The solid portion of the earth on which we live is called the lithosphere. The gaseous layer that surrounds the earth is the atmosphere, where oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide and other gases are found. Water covers a very big area of the earth's surface, and this area is called hydrosphere. The hydrosphere comprises water in all its form. There is ice, water and water vapors. The biosphere is the narrow zone where we find land, water and air together, which contains all forms of life. Lithosphere. The solid portion of the earth is called the lithosphere. It comprises the rocks of the earth's crust and the thin layer of soil that contains nutrition element which sustain organism. There are two main divisions of the earth's surface. The large landmass are known as continent. The huge water bodies are called the ocean basins. The oceans of the earth are connected with one another. Look at the map of the world. Are all the land masses connected with the one another? The level of sea water remains the same everywhere. Elevation of land is measured from the level of the sea, which is taken as 0. Pacific Ocean, Indian Ocean, Southern Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, and is Arctic Ocean. Arctic Ocean. Rocky Mountain, Andes Mountain, Alpesian Mountains, यूरोप में एल्प्स एंड मेडिटेरियन एटलस माउंटेन्स, एल्प्स माउंटेन, मेडिटेरियन ब्लैक माउंटेन्स भी है, यूराल माउंटेन्स, यहाँ पे काकेशस भी है, ड्रैकन्सबर्ग माउंटेन, ये ग्रेट डिवाइडिंग रेंज है, यहाँ पे साउदर्न एल्प्स है, तिब्बतियन प्लेटूज है, हिमालयंस, तिब्बतियन प्लेटू हिमालयंस है यहाँ पे, यहाँ म्यांमार, इंडिया और म्यांमार के सीमा अराकम यूमा. Do you know Edmund Hillary, New Zealand, the Tenzing Norway Sherpa Indian were the first men to climb the highest peak, Tenzing Norway Sherpa mountain peak, Mount Everest on the highest mountain peak, Mount Everest on the planet Earth. On 29 May 1953, Jurko Taipei, Japan, was the first woman to reach the summit. On the 16th May 1975, the first Indian woman to climb the highest peak. On 23rd May 1984 was Bachedri Pal and Sherpa. Bachedri Pal and Sherpa. The highest mountain peak, Mount Everest, is 8,848 meters above the sea level. The greatest depth of 11,022 meters is recorded at Mariana Trench, which is situated in Pacific Ocean. Could you imagine that deep of the sea is much more than the highest point? Continents. There are 7 major continents. These are separated by large water bodies. These continents are Asia, Europe, Africa, North America, South America, Australia and Antarctica. Look at the map of the world and notice that the great part of the land masses is the north hemisphere. Asia is the largest continent. It covers about one third of the total land of the earth. The continent lies in the eastern hemisphere. The Tropic of Cancer passes through this continent. Asia is separated from Europe by the Ural Mountains on the west. The combined land masses of Europe and Asia is called the Eurasia, which is Europe plus Asia. Europe is much smaller than Asia. The continent lies to the west of Asia. The Arctic Circle passes through it. It is bound by the water bodies on three sides. Look at the map of the world and locate it. Africa is the second largest continent after Asia. The equator or 0 degree latitudes run almost through the middle of the continent. A large part of the Africa lies in the north hemisphere. Look at the figure. You will find that it is the only continent through which the Tropic of Cancer, the equator and the Tropic of Capricorn passes. The Sahara Desert, the world's largest hottest desert, it located in Africa. The continent is bound on the all side by ocean and sea. Look at the world map. You will notice that the world's longest river, Nile River, which is called Gift of Egypt, flows through Africa. Notice the equator in Victoria Lake. From Victoria Lake to falls in Mediterranean Sea. The Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn passes in the map of Africa. North America is the third largest continent of the world. It is linked to South America by a very narrow strip of land called the Azimuth of Panama, and the continent lies linking to land called Azimuth and linking a small gap of water between two lands are called strait and channel, and the continent lies completely in north and western hemisphere. These oceans surround this continent. Can you name this ocean? Three oceans surrounded this continent. Can you name these oceans? Three continents. South America lie mostly in the three oceans surrounded this continent. Can you name this continent? Three oceans surrounded this continent. Continents are North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Antarctica. Antarctica is surrounded by an Arctic Ocean. An Arctic Ocean. So this is was, and surrounded by which is Atlantic Sea, Indian Sea and Arctic Sea, Southern Sea, Southern Ocean, Indian Arctic, Southern Ocean, Atlantic Ocean. It is Africa. South America lies mostly in the southern hemisphere, which is two oceans surrounded it on the east and the west. Andes, world's longest mountain range, run through its length from the north to south. South America has the world's largest river, the Amazon, which is mostly in Brazil. Australia is the smallest continent that lies entirely in the southern hemisphere. It is surrounded on all sides of the ocean and seas. It is called an island continent. And Antarctica, completely in the southern hemisphere, is a huge continent. The South Pole lies almostly at the center of this continent. As it is located in the South Pole region, it is permanently covered with the thick ice sheet. There is no permanent human settlements. Many countries have research station in Antarctica. India also research station there. The name is Maitri and Dashkin Gangotri. Hydrosphere. The Earth is called the blue planet. More than 71% of the Earth is covered with water and 29% is with land. Hydrosphere consists of water in all its form, as running water in oceans and rivers and in lakes, ice in glaciers, underground water and the water vapors in the atmosphere all comprise the hydrosphere. More than 97% of Earth's water is found in the ocean and is too salty for human use. A large portion of rest of the water is it in form of ice sheet and glaciers or under the ground, and a very small percentage is available as fresh water for human, which is around 2.5%. North America, South America, Africa, Asia, Europe, Australia, Antarctica. Comparative size of continent. Largest is Australia and largest is Asia, and smallest is Australia, which is Oceania. Name the largest continent. Asia. Which is the largest? Europe or Australia? Europe. Use. Hence, despite being a blue planet, we faced a shortage of water. Oceans are the major part of hydrosphere. They are all interconnected. The ocean water are always moving. The three chief movements of ocean waters are the waves, the tides and the ocean currents. The five major oceans are the Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, the Indian Ocean, the Southern Ocean and the Arctic Ocean. In order to their size, the Pacific Ocean is the largest ocean. It is spread over 1/3 of the earth. Mariana Trench is the deepest part of the earth, lies in the Pacific Ocean. The Pacific Ocean is the most circular in shape. Asia, Australia, North and South America surrounded it. Look at the map and find out location of continent around the Pacific Ocean. Pacific Ocean in the west, Asia, Australia, which is also called Eurasia, Eurasia continent, and in the east, northeast, North America, and southeast, which is South America. North and South America surrounded it. Look at the map and find out the location of continent around the Pacific. The Atlantic Ocean is the second largest ocean in the world. It is S-shaped. It is flanked by the North and South Americas on the western side, the Europe and Africa on the eastern side. The coastline of Atlantic Ocean is highly intended. This regular and intended coastline provide ideal location for natural harbors and ports. From the point of view of commerce, it is the busiest ocean. The Indian Ocean is the only ocean named after a country, that is India. The shape of ocean is almost triangular. In the north, it is bounded by Asia, in the west by Africa, and in the east by Australia. The Southern Ocean encircles the continent of Antarctica and extends northward to the 60 degrees south latitude. The Arctic Ocean is located with the Arctic Circle and surrounds the North Pole. It is connected with the Pacific Ocean by a narrow stretch of shallow water known as Bering Strait, which is small waters between Alaska and Russia, which is part of Alaska, part of America, and Russia. It is bounded by the northern coast of North America and Eurasia. Atmosphere. The Earth is surrounded by a layer of gases called the atmosphere. This thick blanket of air is an integral and important aspect of the planet. It provides us with the air we breathe and they protect us from the harmful effect of sun rays. The atmosphere extends up to the height of about 1600 km. The atmosphere is divided into 5 layers based on the composition, the temperature and the other properties. These layers starting from the earth's surface are called the troposphere and the stratosphere, the mesosphere, the thermosphere and the exosphere. The atmosphere is composed mainly of nitrogen and oxygen, which makes up to about 99% of clean dry air, nitrogen 78% and 21%, oxygen is 21% and other gases like carbon dioxide, argon, other comprise 1% of volume. Oxygen is the breath of life wheel, or nitrogen helps in growth of living organism. Carbon dioxide through present in minute amount in important as it observe heat radiation by the earth, thereby keeping the planet warm. It is also essential for the growth of planet. The density of the atmosphere varies with height. It in maximum at the sea level from decreasing rapidly as we go up. The climbers experience problems in breathing due to the decrease in the density of air. They have to carry with them oxygen cylinder to able to breathe at high latitudes. The temperature also decreases as we go upward. The atmosphere exerts pressure on the earth. This varies from place to place. Some areas experience high pressure and some areas low pressure. Air moves from high pressure to low pressure. Moving air is known as wind. Biosphere, the domain of life. The biosphere is the narrow zone of contact between the land, water and air. It is this zone that life that is unique to this planet exists. There are several species of organisms that vary in the size from microbes and bacteria to huge mammals. All the living organisms including human are linked to each other and to the biosphere for survival. The organisms in the atmosphere are broadly be divided into the plant kingdom and the animal kingdom. The three domains of the earth interact with each other and affect each other in same way or other. For example, cutting of forest for fulfilling our need of wood or clearing land for agriculture may lead to fast removal of soil from slopes. Similarly, earth surface is changing due to the natural calamity like earthquake. For example, there could be submerge of land as happened in the case of tsunami recently. Part of Andaman and Nicobar Islands were submerged under water. Discharge of waste material into lakes, the river makes the water unsustainable for human use. It also damages other forms of life. Emission from industries, thermal power plants and vehicles pollute the air. Carbon dioxide is an important constituent of air, but increase in the amount of CO2 lead to increase in global temperatures. This is termed as global warming. There is thus a need to limit the use of resources of the earth to maintain the balance of nature between the domains of lithosphere, the atmosphere and the hydrosphere. Lithosphere, lithosphere, atmosphere, biosphere, hydrosphere. Name the two major continents of the earth: Africa, Asia, Eurasia, that lie entirely in the southern hemisphere. Entirely in the southern hemisphere. Australia and Antarctica. Name two layers of atmosphere: a troposphere or stratosphere. Why is Earth called blue planet? Because 97% of water and 2% only 2.5% for drinking. Why is north hemisphere called the land hemisphere, which is most of part is land? Why the biosphere important for living? Because growth of living organism. The mountain range that separate Europe from Asia, Urals. यूराल एंड काकेशस भी इधर नीचे में आता है. द कॉन्टिनेंट ऑफ नॉर्थ अमेरिका इज लिंक्ड टू साउथ अमेरिका बाय an azimuthal. The major constituent of atmosphere is nitrogen 78%. The domain of the earth consists of solid rock is lithosphere, which is the largest continent. Asia, तो deepest Trinidad Trench, easy है सब. Major landform of the earth. You must have seen some of the landform feature as shown in the figure. You will notice that the surface of earth is not the same everywhere. The earth has an infinite variety of landform. Some part of lithosphere may be rugged and some flat. The landforms are a result of two processes. You will be amazed to know that the ground you are standing on is slowly moving. Within the earth, a continuous movement is taking place. The first, or the internal process, lead to upliftment and shrinking of the earth's surface at several places. Do you know? A hill is a land surface that raises higher than the surrounding area. Generally, a steep hill with an elevation of more than 600 meters is termed as a mountain. Name some mountains with a height of more than 8,000 meters. Mount Everest, Drakensberg, mountains, plateaus, lakes, rivers, tributaries. Mouth of river, largest mouth वो river का है रशिया में. The second, or the external process, in the continuous wearing down and rebuilding of the land surface, the wearing away of the earth's surface is called the erosion. The surface is being lowered by the process of erosion and rebuilt by the process of deposition. These two processes are carried out by running water, ice and wind. Broadly, we can group different landforms depending on the elevation and slope as mountain, plateaus and plains. Mountains. A mountain is any natural elevation of the earth's surface. The mountain may have a smaller summit and a broad base. It is considerably higher than the surrounding areas. Some mountains are even higher than the clouds. As you go higher, the climate becomes colder. In some mountains, there are permanently frozen rivers of ice. These are called glaciers. There are some mountains you cannot see as they are under the sea. Because of harsh climate, less people live in the mountain areas. Since the slopes are steep, less land is available for farming. A fold mountain. Himalayas are folded mountains. Do you know Mauna Kea, Hawaii, in the Pacific Ocean, is an undersea mountain. It is higher than Mount Everest, being 10,205 meters high. Mauna Kea. Mountains may be arranged in a line known as ranges. Many mountain systems consist of series of parallel ranges extending over hundred of kilometers. The Himalayas, the Alps and the Andes are mountain ranges of Asia, Europe and the South America respectively. Mountains vary in their heights and shape. There are three types of mountains: fold mountains, block mountains and the volcanic mountains. The Himalayan mountains and the Alps are young fold mountains with rugged relief and high conical peak. The Aravalli ranges in India is one of the oldest fold mountain system in the world. The ranges has considerable warmth due to the process of erosion. The Appalachian in the North America and the Ural mountains in the Russia have rounded feature and the low elevation. They are very old fold mountains. Block mountains are created when large areas are broken and displaced vertically. The uplift block are termed as horst and the lowered block are called as graben. The Rhine Valley and the Vosges mountains in the Europe are examples of such mountain system. Locate them on the map on atlas and find out some more examples of this type of landform. Volcanic mountains are formed due to the volcanic activity. Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa and Mount Fujiyama in Japan are examples of such mountains. Mountains are very useful. The mountains are a storehouse of water. Many rivers have their source in the glaciers. In the mountains, reservoirs are made and the water is harnessed for the use of peoples. Water from the mountains is also used for irrigation and generation of hydroelectricity. The river valley and traces are idea for cultivation of crops. Mountains have rich variety of flora and fauna, and forests provide fuel, fodder, shelter and other products like gum, resin, etc. Mountains provide an idyllic site for tourists. They visit the mountains for their scenes, beauty. Several sports like paragliding, hang gliding, river rafting and skiing are popular in the mountains. Can you name some places in the Himalayas associated with these sports? Volcanic mountain, a huge cloud of steam, volcanic ashes. Plateaus. A plateau is an elevated flat land. It is a flat toppled tableland standing above the surrounding areas. A plateau may have one or more sides with steep slopes. The height of plateaus often varies from few hundred meters to several thousand meters. Plateaus like mountains may be young or old. The Deccan Plateau in India is one of the oldest plateaus. The East African Plateau in Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda and the Western Plateau of Australia are other examples. The Tibetan Plateau is the highest plateau in the world with the height of 4,000 to 6,000 above the MSL, which is mean sea level. Plateaus are very useful because they are rich in the mineral deposits. As a result, many of the mining areas in the world are located in plateau areas. The African plateaus is famous for gold and diamond mining. In India, huge reserves of iron, coal and manganese are found in the Chota Nagpur Plateau, which is in Jharkhand. In the plateau areas, there are several waterfalls in the river falls from a great height. In India, the Handrus Falls in the Chota Nagpur Plateau on the river Sabrnekha in the Jog Falls in Karnataka are examples of such waterfalls. The lava plateau are rich in the black soil that are fertile and good for cultivation. Many plateaus have seen sports and are of great attraction to tourists. Plains are large stretch of flat land. They are generally not more than 200 meters above mean sea level. Some plains are extremely level, other may be slightly rolling and undulating. Most of the plains are formed by a river and their tributaries. The rivers flow down the slope of mountains and erode them. They carry forward the eroded mountains. Then they depose their load consists of stones, sand, sleets along their courses and in their valleys. It is from these deposits that plains are formed. Generally, plains are very fertile. Construction of transport network is easy. Thus, these plains are very thickly populated region of the world. Some of the largest plains made by rivers are found in the Asia and the North America. For example, in Asia, these plains are formed by the Ganga and the Brahmaputra in India and the Yangtze River in India, which is Yangtze River. Plains are the most useful areas of human habitation. There is great concentration of peoples as more flat land is available for building houses as well as cultivation. Because of fertile soil, the land is highly productive for cultivation in India too. The Indo-Gangetic plains are the most densely populated region of the country. Landforms and the people. Humans have been living on different kind of landforms in different ways. Life is difficult in mountainous areas. Plains provide much better condition. It is easy to grow crops, build a house or a road in a plain than a mountain. Can you point out some difference in the ways people live on different kind of landforms? Sometimes natural calamities such as earthquake, volcanic eruption, storms, floods causes widespread destruction, huge loss of life. Poverty take place. By creative awareness about such incidents, we may lower the risk. You may find out. No. Do you know Swachh Bharat Mission? Healthy mind live in healthy body, and for a clean healthy body, clean environment, particularly clean water, air and hygienic surrounding are prerequisites. Swachh Bharat Mission is a government of India program aimed people to achieve all these for peoples. Polluted river, rope bridge, Arunachal Pradesh. You may find out from your own surrounding in how many ways we use the land and water. Quietly, often we use the land in wasteful manner, for example constructing houses on a fertile land. Similarly, we throw garbage on land or in water, making them dirty. We should avoid using such important gifts of nature in careless manner. The available lands is not only for our use, it is our duty to leave the earth a better place for future generation as well. Glaciers are found in mountains. Deccan Plateau is located in India. River Yangtze flow in the China. An important mountain range of Europe, Alps. Atlas in South Africa, Alps, Rocky in North America, and Andes in South America, and Alps in Europe, Atlas and Drakensberg in Africa, and in India is Himalayas, Rockies North America, Andes South America. सब easy है. Our country, India. India is a country of vast geographical expanse. In the north, it is bounded by the lofty Himalayas, the Arabian Seas in the west, the Bay of Bengal in the east, and the Indian Ocean in the south wash the shores of the Indian peninsula. India has an area of about 3.28 million square kilometers. The north-south extent from Ladakh to Kanyakumari is about 3,200 km, and the east-west extent from the Arunachal Pradesh to Kutch is about 2,900 km. The lofty mountains, the Great Indian Desert, the northern plains, the uneven plateau surface, and the coast and island present a diversity of landform. There is a great variety in the climate, vegetation, wildlife, as well as in the language and culture. In this diversity, we find unity that is reflected in tradition that bind us as one nation. India is a population of more than 120 crores since year 2011. It is the second most populous country of the world after China, but now India is the most populous country. Do you know large countries which stretch extensively from east to west do not have a single standard time for the whole country? The US, the Canada have these 7 and 6 time zones. Do you know? Do you remember how many time zones are there in the Russia? 11. Russia have 11 time zones. Location settings. India is located in the north hemisphere. The Tropic of Cancer, 23.5 degree north, passes almost halfway through the country from south to north. Mainland of India extends between 8 degree 4 inches north and 37 degree 6 inches north latitude. From west to east, India extends between 68 degree 7 inches east and the 97 degree 27 inches east longitude. If we divide the world into eastern and western hemisphere, which hemisphere would India belong to? Northern hemisphere. Divide world into eastern and western hemisphere. Eastern hemisphere. Do you know great longitude extent of the ईस्टर्न एंड वेस्टर्न हेमिस्फीयर? ईस्टर्न हेमिस्फीयर में बिलोंग करेगा इंडिया. Due to great longitudinal extent of about 29 degree, there could be a divide difference in local time of places located at the two extreme points of India. As such, the difference between these 2 points would be of about 2 hours. As you have learned early, the local time changes by 4 minutes for every 1 degree of longitude. The sun rises about 2 hours earlier in the east Arunachal Pradesh than in the west Gujarat. You have already read earlier why the local time of longitude of 82 degree 30 inches east has been taken as Indian Standard Time. These meridians or longitude is also termed as the Standard Meridian of India. India's neighbors. There are 7 countries that share land boundaries with India, which and highest land boundaries with Bangladesh. India share highest land boundaries with Bangladesh, longest land boundary with Bangladesh. India and its neighbors: Pakistan, whose capital is Islamabad; Afghanistan, whose capital is Kabul; China, with the capital of Tibet; Nepal, capital Kathmandu; Bhutan, capital Thimphu; Bangladesh, capital Dhaka; Myanmar, Naypyidaw; Sri Lanka, Jayawardenepura Kotte. Hello. हेलो. हाँ बोलो. हाँ कैसे हो? ये एग्ज़ाम का डेट उट निकला? तो हम पहले पूछ दिए. कुछ नहीं निकला, अभी कुछ पता ही नहीं चल रहा है. आप कराए हैं? वो तो वहीं पे होगा ना, पूछे थे तो बोला कि आइएगा जब फॉर्म भरा रहा होगा तभी होगा. और शाही भाई का अभी तो शायद 10th का एग्ज़ाम चल रहा है अभी. बस पढ़ाई हो रहा है. हम्म 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 होने वाला है अभी. फरवरी मार्च डेट कैलेंडर के हिसाब से फरवरी मार्च बोला था. अभी लग नहीं रहा फरवरी में करेगा, मार्च ही में करेगा. इस बार तो पैटर्न भी चेंज कर दिया है. सारे एग्ज़ाम का एसएससी ने पैटर्न ही चेंज कर दिया. टाइपिंग टेस्ट, टाइपिंग भी सीखा. टाइपिंग अब किसी काम का नहीं रहा है CHSL में. CHSL में पहले हाँ, हमारा 63 वर्ड पर मिनट टाइपिंग है। और पहले सिर्फ प्री होता था CHSL में, और उसके बाद टाइपिंग टेस्ट होता था, फिर अब कर दिया कि प्री होगा, फिर मेंस होगा, और तब जाके सिलेक्शन होगा। और सेम CHSL और CGL को दोनों को बराबर ही कर दिया है। तो दोनों को बराबर ही कर दिया है। अब CGL में प्री दे रहे हैं, मेंस दे रहे हैं, फिर बाद में मेरिट लिस्ट तैयार होगा, तो दोनों बराबर ही हो गया ना, CHSL और CGL। तो CGL देंगे ना, CHSL में पोस्ट लो है। यार सिराट बहुत भीड़ है यहाँ, सागर पोखरा में बहुत ज़्यादा भीड़ है। अभी पूरा पेट्रोल पंप से लेकर के लाइन लगा हुआ है सागर पोखरा तक। वहाँ पे साइकिल चलने का जगह नहीं, साइकिल चलाने का जगह नहीं है वहाँ पे। पता चले तो बताइएगा कुछ। ठीक। इंडियन लद्दाख, जास्कर, पीर पंजाल, ये हिमालयन रेंजेस, ये मिडल हिमालयज एंड अपर हिमालय एंड लोअर हिमालयज। अरावली सिचुएटेड इन लद्दाख, विंध्याचल, सतपुरा रेंज, वेस्टर्न घाट एंड ईस्टर्न घाट, ब्रह्मपुत्रा एंड ये गंगा महानदी, गंगा, ये यमुना ना, यमुना माने तो नहीं, यमुना। States and 8 union territories. Delhi is the national capital. The state have been formed mainly on the basis of language. Alluvial deposits. These are very fine soils brought by rivers and the deposits in the river basin. Tributaries. A river or a stream which contributes its water to the main river by discharging into main river from either sides. Physical division. India is marked by a diversity of physical features such as mountain, plateaus, plain, coast and the islands. Standing as sentinels in the north are the softly snow-capped Himalayas. Himalayas mean the adobe of snow. The Himalayan mountains are divided into three main parallel ranges. The northernmost is the Great Himalaya or Himadri. The world's highest peak is located in this range. Middle Himalaya or Himachal lies to the south of the Himadri. Many popular hill stations are situated here. Find out the name of 5 hill stations. The Shivaliks is the southernmost range. Do you know Ganga and the Brahmaputra forms the world's largest delta, which is called Sundarban Delta. The delta is triangular in the shape and it is area of land formed in the mouth of the river. Where area enters the river, that a point is called the mouth of the river. The northern Indian plains lie to the south of the Himalayas. They are generally level and flat. These are formed by alluvial deposits laid down by the rivers, the Indus, the Ganga, the Brahmaputra and their tributaries. These river tributaries provide fertile land for cultivation. That is the reason for high concentration of the population in these plains. In the western part of India lies in the Great Indian Desert. It is a dry, hot and sandy stretch of land. It is very little vegetation. To the south of North Plains lies the Peninsula Plateau. It is triangular in shape. This relief is highly uneven. This is a region with numerous hill ranges and valleys. Aravalli Hills, one of the oldest ranges of the world, border it on the northwest side. The Vindhyas and the Satpuras as the important ranges. The river Narmada and Tapi flow through these ranges. There are west flowing rivers that drain into the Arabian Sea. The Western Ghats or Shyadris border the plateau in the west, and the Eastern Ghats provide the eastern boundaries, while the Western Ghats are almost continuous. The Eastern Ghats are broken and uneven. The plateau is rich in the mineral like coal and iron. To the west of the Western Ghat and the east of the Eastern Ghat lie to the coastal plains. The western coast are very narrow. The eastern coast plains are much broader. There are a number of east flowing rivers. The river Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri drain into Bay of Bengal. These rivers are found fertile delta at the mouth. The Sundarban Delta is formed where the Ganga and the Brahmaputra flows into the Bay of Bengal. Do you know coral are the skeletons of tiny marine animals called polyps? When the living polyps die, their skeleton are left. These polyps grow on the top of the hard skeleton, which grow higher and higher, thus forming the coral islands. Shadow coral islands. Ninth standard. Danger water. Down there is Sumatra started a big quake, but no one had expected the tsunami did it make. The wave big as mountain like an army they charge, and into the South Asian lands with almighty. They burst. Full with fury, they killed people in thousands and destroyed everything from buildings to farmlands. The wave came and went from Sumatra to other places and left nothing there except empty spaces. People were left without shelter and food. Tourists who had come decided they never should. People lost their loved near the dear ones. Survivors snatches and fought for clothes and burns. Relief to the affected was being sent out. But these now disease there was a big bound. Hello. On marriage certificate. तो सिग्नेचर चाहिए ना ग्राम प्रधान और सरपंच का. क्या उसको निकाल करके फिर भर करके और फिर भेजना है? लगा देंगे. कंप्यूटर में तो कर दूंगा मैं. ठीक ठीक ठीक. और एड्रेस सब कुछ कैसे भरेंगे? ठीक है. ठीक है, टाइम लगेगा। हाँ अभी काम है। आधा घंटा, आधा एक घंटा में भेज दूंगा मैं। ठीक। इसको जल्दी से ख़त्म करना पड़ेगा, आधा एक घंटा में भेजना भी है। बिग आउट पीपल फियर गोइंग नियर द सी, कुड इट वेल अप अगेन गिविंग नो टाइम टू फ्ली, द फियर इंस्टॉल्ड इन them may vary by the days, but in this darkness of sorrow there is still a happy ray. Tsunami killed waves. Two groups of islands also form part of India. Lakshadweep Island are located in Arabian Sea. These are coral islands located off the coast of Kerala, and the Andaman and the Nicobar Island lie to the southeast of Indian mainland in the Bay of Bengal. Do you know which group of islands were affected the tsunami in 2004? Andaman and Nicobar. Find out through newspaper reports and by speaking to people how in different ways people face this challenge when tsunami struck the Indian coast. Tsunami is a huge sea waves generated due to the earthquake on sea floors. Himadri. Sahyadris is also known as Western Ghats. Pak state lying between India and Sri Lanka. Indian island in Arabian Sea in Lakshadweep Island. The oldest mountain range in India is Aravalli. India, climate, vegetation and wildlife. You read in newspaper daily and watch on TV or hear other talking about weather. You must know the weather is about day-to-day changes in the atmosphere. It includes changes in the atmosphere, rainfall and sunshine, etc. For example, as such it may be hot or cold, sunny or cloudy, windy or calm. You must have noticed that when it is hot continuously for several days, you don't need any warm clothing. You also like to eat or drink cold things. In contrast, there are days together you feel cold without woolen clothes. When it is windy, very windy, the chilly, you would like to have something hot to eat. Broadly, the major seasons recognized in India are cold weather season winter, December to February; hot weather season summer, March to May; south west monsoon season rainy, June to September; season of retreating monsoon, autumn, October and November; cold weather season or winter. During the winter season, the sun rays do not fall directly in the region. As a result, the atmosphere are quietly low in North India. Hot weather season or summer. In hot weather season, sun rays more or less directly fall in this region. Temperature becomes very high. Hot and dry winds called lu blow during the day. Let's southwest monsoon season or rainy season. This season is marked by the onset and advance of the monsoon. The winds blow from Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal towards the land. They carry moisture with them. When these winds strike the mountain bearers, rainfalls occurs. Season of retreating monsoon or autumn. Wind move back from the mainland to the Bay of Bengal. This is called the retreating monsoon. The southern part of India, particularly Tamil Nadu and the Andhra Pradesh, receive rainfall in this season. However, the climate is about the average weather condition which have been measured over many years. The climate of India has broadly been described as monsoon type. Monsoon is taken from the Arabic word musim, which means season. Due to Indian location in the tropical region, most of the Indian is brought by the monsoon winds. Agriculture in India is depend on the rains. Good monsoon means adequate rain and a beautiful crop. The climate of a place is affected by its location, latitude, distance from the sea and relief. Therefore, we experience regional difference in the climate of India. Jaisalmer, Bikaner and in the desert of Rajasthan are very hot, with Dras and Kargil in the Ladakh are freezing cold. Coastal places like Mumbai, Kolkata experience moderate climate. They are neither too hot nor too cold. Being on a coast, these places are very humid. Montserrat in Meghalaya receives the world's highest rainfall, while in the particular year it might not rain at in Jaisalmer in Rajasthan. Natural vegetation. We see a variety of plant life in our surroundings. How nice it is to play in the fields with green grasses. There are also small plants called bushes and scrubs like cactus and the flowering plants, etc. Besides, there are many tall trees, some of with many branches and leaves like neem, mango, or some which stands with few leaves such as palm. The grasses, shrubs and trees which grow on their own without interference or help from the human being are called natural vegetation. Do you wonder how these differ from each other? Different types of natural vegetation are depend on the different climate conditions, among which the amount of rainfall is very important. Due to varied climate condition, India has wide range of natural vegetation. Why are forests necessaries? Forests are very useful for us. They perform various functions. Plant release oxygen that we breathe and absorb carbon dioxide. The roots of plants bend and soils. Thus, they control soil erosion. Forest provide us from with timber from furnish wood, fuel, fodder, medicine plants and herbs like honey, gums, etc. Forests are the natural habitat of wildlife. Natural vegetation has been destroyed to a large extent because of the reckless cutting of trees. We should plant more trees and protect the existing ones and make people aware of the importance of trees. We can have special program like One Mahotsav to involve more people in the making our earth green. Wildlife. Forests are home to a variety of wildlife. There are thousands of species of animals and a large variety of reptiles, amphibians, which survive in both in water and land. Mammals, birds, insects, and worms which dwell in the forest. The tiger is our national animal. It is found in various parts of the country. Gir forest in Gujarat is the home of Asiatic lion. Elephant and one-horned rhinoceros roam is the forest of Assam. Elephants are also found in Kerala and Karnataka. Camels and wild asses are found in the Great Indian Desert and the Run of Kutch respectively, which is in Gujarat. Wild goat, snow leopards, bears, etc. are found in the Himalayan region. Besides these, many other animals are found in our country such as monkey, wolf, jackal, nilgai, cheetah, etc. India is equally rich in the bird life. The peacock is our national bird. Other common birds are parrot, pigeon, mehna, geese, bulbul and ducks. There are several birds sanctuaries which have been created to give birds their natural habitat. This provides the bird protection from hunters. Can you name 5 birds that are commonly found in your area? There are several hundred of species of snakes found in Indian. Cobras, cretins are important among them. Due to cutting of forest and hunting, several species of wildlife of India are declining rapidly. Many species have already become distinct. In order to protect them, many national parks, sanctuaries, and biosphere reserves have been set up. The government has also started Project Tiger, Project Elephant to protect these animals. Can you name some wildlife sanctuary in India to locate them on map? Kaziranga National Park, Gir, Chamoli. You can also contribute in observing wildlife. You can refuse to buy things made up from the parts or bodies of animals, such as their bone, horn, fur, skin, and feathers. Every year we observe wildlife weeks in first week of October to create awareness of conserving the habitats of animal kingdom. Migratory birds. Some birds such as pinthal ducks, creeful, flamingo, osprey, little steenie migrate to our country in winter season every year. Smaller migratory birds needs weighing as low as 15 gram and Arctic region travel over 8,000 km to reach in India. Mosingram. Wild goats and snow leopards are found in Himalayan region. During the southwest monsoon period, the moisture-laden winds blow from plateau to plain. Okay, states with their capital. Some source of informations. Thank you. Book finished.